Hello everybody, it's Oracle 684 back here once again for another review of a movie that personally is one of my favorites. It may not be perfect, it may not be great, but I love it for what it is, and that is the 1984 film Supergirl, starring Helen Slater, Peter O'Toole, and Faye Dunaway. I had gotten this way back, I believe it was on CD Universe quite a few years ago. Of course, it's now on Blu-ray. It originally was going to have more adventures of Supergirl, which she was going to have sequels, but despite this didn't do too well in the theater, this was the one and only film you got until quite a few years later. We got the TV show with Melissa Benoist, which I absolutely love that show. Huge fan. If you don't know anything by now, I'm a huge DC fan. One of my all-time favorites, female superhero, is Supergirl. I like, you know, a lot of the guys too, like, you know, Superman, Aquaman, all that stuff. But Supergirl, 1984, is very special to me because and I did talk about this before in a review from a long time ago, but this is fresh. This is a fresh start for me on my YouTube channel. Woo! That was a lot to get out, wasn't it? Yeah. But this is a very special film for me because, one, it came out the year I was born. Two, there's a scene in there with Helen Slater as her character that she's disguised as, called Linda Lee. She's looking at a map. And of course, everybody knows that, pretty much I think everybody should know, or does know, that the Superman, Supergirl characters are basically set in Illinois, like Metropolis, Illinois. This one's in Mid-Val, Illinois. So there's a scene in Supergirl, 1984, that Kara is looking at a map of Illinois. Now, the second thing that's very special to me about this film is when she was looking at the map, the viewer gets to see what's on the map. So you got Rockford, I think it's Pontiac, I know Joliet's on there, and I looked at it real closely. I found the town that I'm living in, or the city that I'm living in, on the map, which was so cool. I didn't even know that. And of course, back in the day when I was, you know, a youngster growing up, I didn't really watch this movie in all too much. I think I only saw it one time, like back in maybe like the late 80s when I was like 4 years old, maybe, or so, or something like that. But yeah, I thought that was a real cool treat. So what this is very, very different from the Superman films or the Supergirl TV show that we got now. I think the effects are really, really good for its time. The wire work was awesome. You don't get to see any of the wires visible on Supergirl when she's flying, which is, you know, a huge plus. But there's a really cool effect with one of the main characters I thought was really cool for its time. I don't want to spoil this because I don't think a lot of people have seen Supergirl yet. If you have, you might know what I'm talking about. It has something to do with Faye Dunaway's character. I thought that effect was really awesome for its, you know, time. Like I say again. But so what it is, I mean, the story evolves around Kara and Peter O'Toole's character named Zoltar. So Zoltar has gotten this, I'm trying to think, I saw the movie last night, I'm trying to think what the little ball is, what the little ball is called. The Omega Hedron, that's what it is, okay, Omega Hedron. He supposedly borrowed it, and, you know, Kara says, you stole it, and he says again, I borrowed it. Well, what this thing does, it's kind of a little hard. You got like a wand, and you take your imagination or something with it, and it creates all these different things. Like there's a scene in there where Kara makes it like it's like supposed to be a giant dragonfly, but it actually looks like more of a giant mosquito, the way the wings and the body shape is and stuff. Of course, the Omegahedron does go out into space, and Zoltar loses it. So Supergirl, basically gets this idea and gets inside this pod thing, and then she gets, without anything, it doesn't even explain how she gets the Supergirl suit or anything, but which, I'm okay with it because I'm so familiar with the character anyway. I think the acting in this is, I can see what people are kind of talking about. It's okay. I mean, Hart Bachner, there's one scene in there where it's just hysterical. You're laughing pretty much. At least to me, it was funny. There's a scene in there that Faye Dunaway's character Selena puts a spell on him, and of course I'm going to try not to spoil this as much as I possibly can. But he's stumbling, he's walking around, and all this other stuff, and there's a thing to it for that spell. So definitely some funny moments. I'm still amazed at how they do the laser eye stuff of like the Superman, Supergirl character back in those days. How they did that, because with the limited computer technology that they had back in the 80s, and of course, with Superman, the first film being in '78, how they did all that, it's beyond me. I would love to see how they did that back then, behind the scenes. But yeah, this movie, to me, it's a hit or miss. I can care less if you don't like it. If you like it, that's awesome. I love it. It is what it is, guys. It's a great film. Great film for the family. Of course, there's a lot of different things in there, and also there's another thing that I did want to mention about this film too, is that you do get an appearance by the actor that plays Jimmy in the Christopher Reeve Superman, which is awesome. It's pretty much the only connection this has to the Christopher Reeve Superman films. But other than that, that's pretty much it, man. Supergirl 1984. What else can you say about it? I think also I do got something else I got to say, but this is also Helen Slater's very first film, so yeah, that's really cool for her to be the first ever live screen version of Supergirl. Of course, Melissa Benoist ended up being the third version because you had Laura Vanderroof, who was on, I'm not saying her last name right, Laura Vanderroot, who played Kara, Supergirl on Smallville many years ago on the WWB, or WB, I should say, not WWB. But, that was a lot to get out. And normally, this is where I sign out, but I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm going to fly out of here. Supergirl 1988, or Supergirl 1984, guys. I'm getting carried away. I love this stuff. But Supergirl 1984, that's it. Nothing else can be said about the film. If you can get your hands on a Blu-ray copy, I strongly suggest it. And this is Oracle 684 signing out. Take care.